Hey, in this video we are going to talk about top 10 wonder invented from wood. Before starting this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Let's get started. Can you imagine a man building a palace all by himself for more than 35 years? Or villagers building a chapel on a volcanic formation? Forget the 7 ancient wonders of the world, there are many modern wonders that are astonishing, and they are all built by a man. Number 10. Mogao Caves, China. There are 2,400 surviving clay sculptures of Mogao in these caves that represent a great evidence of the evolution of the Buddhist art. Located in the northwest region of China, the Mogao Caves are also called Thousand Buddha Grottos. The caves feature 492 temples and represent an important source of evidence for Buddhist culture. In 1900, the Library Cave was discovered, as Western explorers began showing interest for the Silk Road again. The result was the discovery of the cave, which many believe was walled up in the early 11th century. The contents of the library were distributed through museums in the world, and some of the largest collections can be found in Beijing, Berlin, London, and Paris. Number 9. Portini Yatarayan, Wales. A romantic and picturesque village in Baroque form, Portmeirion in Wales represent an Italian village. Designed to mimic an Italian village, Portmeirion was long considered to be a copycat of Portofino, one of the most picturesque villages in Italy. However, Sir Claude Williams Ellis have always denied the claims, but he admitted you just have to fall in love for Portofino. Owned by a charitable trust, the village was built between 1925 and 1975. Number 8. Transfiguration Church, Kazhi, Russia. Can you imagine a building built without using any nails? The Transfiguration Church is built completely out of wood, making it the most remarkable monument of the Kizhi Pogost. The church cannot be heated due to the wood being the only material. Therefore, services are available only in the summer. What makes the church remarkable is the height, as many believe it is the tallest wooden building in Russia. The church has 22 domes, each with a height of 121 feet. The church was built in Russian carpentry traditional style of the 18th century. Many believe that the 18-dome church was the forerunner. Number 7. Huacachina Oases, ICA, Peru. When you can make church completely out of wood, you can sure make an oasis in the driest place on earth. Huacachina is a village that is located in southwestern Peru. The village is built around a small oasis in literally one of the hottest areas in Peru. Tourists visit the village to see the natural lake, try dune buggy rides, sandboarding, and much more. The legend of the oasis is that a beautiful princess was apprehended at her bath by a young hunter. The princess fled the scene, and by leaving the pool of water that was supposed to be her bath, she created the lagoon. The sand dunes, on the other hand, were created by the folds of her mantle that streamed behind her while she was running. In the past few years, the city has had to install artificial pumps to pump water into the oasis. Number 6. Baalbek, Lebanon. Number 5. Sigri, Lank. When it comes to ancient urban planning, few buildings in the world can compete with Sigiriya, a UNESCO-protected World Heritage Site. The rock fortress in Sri Lanka is 660 feet high, and according to some legends and chronicles, King Kasyapa built the fortress as his capital in the 5th century. The king built a gateway to the fortress on a small plateau halfway up the side. The name itself, when translated, means Lion Rock. After the king died, the fortress was abandoned, and up until the 14th century, was a home to a Buddhist monastery. Number 4. Chapelle St. Michael de Guilhe, France. Imagine a chapel positioned 279 feet off the ground. That is what this chapel in the French village is. The pilgrimage chapel is built on a volcanic formation, and few people can reach it. Some legends say that Isabelle Romi, the mother of Joan of Arc, came to pray in the chapel in the early 15th century. Number 3. Pirambanan, Indonesia. What started as a Hindu answer to a Buddhist dynasty became the largest Hindu temple in Indonesia and in Southeast Asia. The construction of the temple marked the return of the Sanjaya dynasty, a Hindu dynasty that ruled in central Java. It marked the transfer from Buddhism to Hinduism in central Java. The temple, built in the 9th century, is dedicated to Trimurti, which in Hindu culture is the god as the creator, the preserver, and destroyer. Nowadays, it serves as UNESCO World Heritage Site. The largest building is 154 feet high, built in a traditional Hindu architecture. Number 2. Palais Ideal du Facturceval, France. The Ideal Palace is a perfect example of man-made wonder. Ferdinand Cheval, a postman, spent 35 years of his life building the palace, and then inscribed it with poetry. One of the best examples of naive art architecture, the palace also contains a mausoleum. Ferdinand wanted to be buried inside the palace, but because that was illegal in France, he spent 8 more years building a mausoleum. Ferdinand built the palace by picking up stones from his daily mail round and then carrying them to his home. For the first 20 years, Ferdinand was building the outer walls and then continued the inside. At the beginning, the postman carried stones in his pockets, then used a basket, and by the end, he found a wheelbarrow. Number 1. Potala Palace, Tibet. Located at an altitude of 12,100 feet, the Potala Palace served as a home for the Dalai Lama for many years. The 5th Dalai Lama is responsible for the initial construction of the palace. One of his advisors pointed to the Dalai Lama that the site is ideal for a government seat. The palace is situated between the old city of Lhasa and Sera monasteries. The 3 hills of Lhasa represent the 3 protectors of Tibet. The palace lost its power in 1959, when the 14th Dalai Lama fled to India during the Tibetan uprising. Nowadays, it still serves as a place for traditional administration of Tibet, but mostly as a museum. Do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.